Well, it's the beginning of day one. Getting up real early to get to the airport, flying off to Asheville, North Carolina, and gonna start hiking north on the AT from Standing Bear Farm. Plan is to hike all the way up to Erwin, and that'll be my 10-day trip this year. It's been 3 years, hard to believe. Well, good morning. It's day one. I'm getting ready to go to the airport, and this year I am gonna be hiking with Blister all the way from, like I said earlier, from Standing Bear to Erwin, Tennessee. So I'm gonna use my hammock again, and I'll show some of my gear that I've changed out on the trail this time. I'm using a different backpack, a little bit lighter. My base weight's probably around 18.5 pounds. And right now it's about 2:30 in the morning. I'm just kind of antsy. I had some coffee. I'm gonna eat some breakfast, and then I'm gonna head on the plane, land in Asheville, North Carolina. Then we're gonna get an Uber to Standing Bear and then just start hiking. I mailed my poles there. I won't have any tent stakes because I didn't mail them and I didn't know that TSA didn't take them. So, alrighty. So I'll be showing some different stuff that I'm using this time. But even though I changed out a bunch of items, it didn't really save a whole lot of weight for some reasons. But it's gonna be dry. I'm gonna have to carry a lot of water, just like the Smokies. It hasn't been 3 years since I've been on the trail, because I did do a section last year when I was in Virginia. But it has been 3 years since I took a pretty nice long, section hike. So I'm happy to be out here, or out there when I get out there and going over Max Patch and all that. So I'll see you then. Guess who's back? Turk is back. Blister's back. All right, so here we are. We're leaving Standing Bear Farm, where we ended our last hike, and we're gonna try to make a few miles today. The temperature's actually really nice. I can feel the breeze right now. It's pretty cool. But we're gonna walk down this road right here, pick up the AT, and start heading up the hill, heading to Erwin this year. Later. Good morning. Take two. I just did about a 2-minute dissertation that I didn't put the record button on. So anyway, here's Blister again, which you guys didn't see last time, but he's got full on buff through hiker looking headband. The water at Painter Branch here it was very good flow. We're gonna carry probably about a liter in a little bit. It's 5 miles to the next water. It was a good night overall. It wasn't too hot, but it wasn't cool. We're just gonna pack up now, try to get over Max Patch, possibly make it to the next shelter, but that's not the next shelter, but the one after that. That's kind of far. That's like 14 miles. So that's probably not gonna happen, but we'll see how we're feeling later on up the hill, because once we get over Max Patch, it's all downhill to there. So we will hit you on up the trail if we see something more exciting later. All right, looks like we're getting close to coming out of the woods up here at the top of Snowbird Mountain, and our first somewhat bald area. The sun's beating down. Gonna go up here, and there should be that FAA tower right up on top, and hopefully a good view. Be nice to have a good big view later. All right, well, in the fall you can see there's a lot more growth up here than what you see in other people's videos. But there's that FAA tower. Right up here. And take a look around. See way out. There's the Smokies. The ribbons of mountains over there. Way out there. Pretty cool. Well, we made it to, what shelter is this?
Yeah, what is it?
I don't know. Deep Gap shelter? I don't know.
Yeah,
anyway, it's the shelter right past Deep Gap, and I'll find out the name later. But having a little lunch, a little hard sausage and cheese. Blister's got some tuna classic creations and tortillas and some pepperoni. And we're gonna get a bunch of water here, and then gonna be climbing a good part of the afternoon up to Max Patch, and then probably go to the shelter right after that, which is Roaring Fork Shelter. So it's relatively pleasant out so far. The trail's been super well maintained, so haven't been any rock hopping or anything like that. But that'll be it. I'll see you later. Try to see if I can get these turkeys on camera. I gotta climb this hill fast. They're running that way. I don't think so. You'll have to trust me. Look at this hill. I know it never does justice, but just came up that. I am sweating balls. And this is a hard climb. Coming out of Brown Gap, 3 point something miles up to Max Patch. So yeah. Coming out of the woods here, up high, getting closer to Max Patch, about 0.3 away. But as you can see, starting to get some views. Blister is, he's really fighting some cramps. But from where we just got water to here is actually quite an easy walk. Wow, look out there. Pretty nice views, man. So I'm assuming way up there is the patch. So I'll keep climbing. All right, not quite up to the top, but if you look way out there, that's the Smokies. And Max Patch is still probably way up there. Guess I'll do the obligatory 360 up on Max Patch. Here comes Blister. Here comes Blister on the Max Patch. Beautiful up here, isn't it? What are you thinking? There he is, Max Patch. So, Blister and I are sitting up here, gonna take a little break. We're gonna reevaluate and see what we're gonna do. A lot of people up here, a lot of clouds, a lot of beautiful views. Oh. It's been warm, but not too warm. But we've been sweating like crazy. Good morning. It's day 3, the morning of. We stayed just north of Max Patch. That's not Max Patch out there right now. That's a bald that you can see from Max Patch. Max Patch is way up there. But we had a pretty cool campsite with these nice big giant trees. We got water maybe like a 1/10 of a mile before it, which was work. Good morning, Blister.
Good morning.
How's today going?
I've got coffee, oatmeal cream pie. I'm good.
That's good. So I'm just airing out my my underquilt and my sleeping bag, and we got a couple mountains to climb today, but nothing crazy. Not as crazy as yesterday. We climbed well over 2,600 feet yesterday. So, all right. I'll catch you a little bit later up the trail. Hey, good morning. It's about 8:40. We just left camp. Got old Blister back here.
Yeah, don't look at my hair.
Don't look at the hair. It's a little cooler today so far. Of course, it's 8 in the morning, but today we're gonna go over some unnamed mountain, and then following that, we're gonna go over, I think it's not Mount Baldy, but it's something like that. Let me switch this around. I'm gonna show you the green tunnel. So this is relatively common with all these, what are these, rhododendrons? Or
Yep.
Rhododendrons going over the trail. And this one's actually particularly long. So usually they're about a little bit shorter, but this one's, and the trail isn't normally like this. It looks like a sidewalk and flat, but it's usually a lot tougher. I know you don't believe me, but so this one's like this, I think, because we're so close to Max Patch. Anyway, we're gonna get up over those 2 mountains today. Probably reassess after we've been around 9 or 10 miles, figure out what shelter or wherever we want to go. And then tomorrow it'll be on into Hot Springs. We'll bring some views along the way if we, I'm sure we'll get some. All right, later. A little bridge crossing here. Very, very flat, easy trail this morning. We're very fortunate compared to the last 2 days to get some miles in on some flat stuff, at least for the time being. Hope I didn't jinx it, but knowing the AT, there'll be plenty of climbs ahead of us. All right, it's after lunch. We're on our last 1,000-foot climb into well, it's our last big mountain climb before we get to Hot Springs. So I'm trying to make my way up the mountain. See if you can see straight down there. And then straight up there is where we're going. But the trail's that way. And we came from that way. So I'll keep making my way up. Warming up now in the afternoon, but still working it. Well, that was a tough climb, but not the toughest ever. But made it up Bluff Mountain. And I'm waiting on Blister now. He took a little break, just like I did, about halfway up. Some cool boulders up here, but not much for a view. I think maybe in the spring when there's no leaves on the trees, there's probably a better view, but definitely a high point up here, the last hill before Hot Springs. I brought way too much food, I can tell you that. My food bag's still pretty heavy, and I'm only one more day into Hot Springs, so I'm gonna take a break up here and wait for Blister, and then probably got a couple more miles down the mountain to our tent site. That'll give us 7 miles into Hot Springs tomorrow. So here's the trail, you can see, and then just off to our left, it's a nice view out there, but look straight down. It's not going to do it justice, but I'm telling you, that is straight down. If you were to fall, and I don't know if you can see way out there, there's a little farm field down in there. Good morning. It's the beginning of day 4. Having a little Joe this morning. And just going through the morning routine. This is our campsite last night. It was a little tucked away right off the trail. Nice flat spot. Had a clothesline hanging up over there, and Blister's got his clothesline over here. But gonna make it into Hot Springs this morning and get a bunch of resupply done and get some town food, and then hang out, get a shower, do a little laundry tomorrow, and then tomorrow morning we may do breakfast or something and then leave, or just depends. Play it by ear. I think we only have like 10 to do or something like that tomorrow. So all right, we'll see you on the trail. Good morning. It's almost 8:40. We're on our way to Hot Springs. We're as you can see, we're not even sweating because we're in such good shape. Or we just started, so who knows? One of the two. But mostly downhill, a couple climbs today, and gonna resupply in Hot Springs, get a shower and all that. I already said all that this morning, but if we come across some cool views, which I think we're gonna have a pretty neat view of Hot Springs from up high, I'll get some pictures and all that. Alrighty. Any words of wisdom today, Blister?
No, just hope I don't get any blisters.
Blister is so far blister free. If he makes it through this trip without blisters, he's gonna have to reconsider his trail name, I think, because he may have mastered his feet. But we'll see. You can't just change things like that. Later. Oh, let me show you the little green tunnel again this morning. So here we go. It's nice. 2 mornings in a row we're starting out downhill, which is kind of nice considering the 2 mornings that we had to climb like thousands of feet just to wake up. Looking out to the side, up the hill. This is the jungle everybody thinks we're walking in. All right, see ya. Well, we are making this knee-busting descent down into Hot Springs, and we can hear the traffic, and starting to be able to see buildings in town, the town down there. We're gonna go to Laughing Heart Hostel. Try to get a couple rooms if they have availability. A shower, laundry, resupply, a good burger. But you can't really see it through the trees right here, but we're getting close. I can hear the traffic. I don't know if you can hear the traffic, but definitely hear traffic on the road. And a little water source right here. This would actually be a fairly decent water source from what we've seen. Well, not that decent, but could have got water out of there if we had to. There's a nice leaf right there that we could have filled up on. Juliana, you remember those leaves like that. Yep. I've done the Georgia section, and then from there to the NOC. And then another trip, I went from the NOC to Standing Bear. And so far through the middle of this trip, I have gone from Standing Bear, and I'm just coming in to Hot Springs, North Carolina, which is kind of a milestone for this hike. This is a lot of people. This is like a vortex town, and it's obviously known as a wonderful trail town. And I think that's Laughing Heart Hostel right there. That brown building, I'm not positive. But this is pretty awesome. Made it all the way into Hot Springs, North Carolina. Woo!
We got 9 out.
There you go. Todd's in Hot Springs, North Carolina.
I'm hot.
In here, the AT sign. Going over onto the sidewalk for Hot Springs. Well, there's Hot Springs. There's the Smoky Mountain Diner, famous burger. Got the Dollar General. And then you can see down here you got a little gas station and whatever else. This is the Laughing Heart Hostel. There's laundry outside. It comes $5 extra with your stay. And you go in and get free coffee in the morning. Sodas in the fridge. There's multiple 3 bathrooms with shower. There's multiple private rooms down the hallways. There's clothes you can wear when you take your shower. And then there's 2 bunk rooms in the end that are a little more, I don't want to say private because they're not private. They're a little cheaper. So I am in room number 6. Getting a 7-day resupply. I'll be eating most of this food. Doing Reese's peanut butter and cereal for breakfast. Some stovetop ramen. 1 more burrito. Bunch of snacks. And for lunches mostly salami and cheese. Well, good morning. It's day 5. Yeah, look at that.
Just got our resupply, but since we were carrying so much food before, I can't honestly say my pack feels that much heavier. But we're walking through Hot Springs, leaving town now. It's a nice stay. I caught a cold from probably someone at work prior to coming out here. Thanks, Dave. And just gonna get on out of here and up the mountain. 69 miles to Erwin. All right, see ya. We're about to turn up the mountain, but this is the French Broad River. Pretty strong. Trail's kind of interesting. Coming out of Hot Springs, you got this whole big rock face area they carved out of the bottom, it looks like. And then there's some pretty good views of Hot Springs down the way in the river. I'll show you another one up here. Well, this is probably Lover's Leap, where you can see down to the bridge. Here we go. So there's the bridge we came across. There's the town of Hot Springs all over there. Good climb so far this morning. All right, so here's that. It's like a dam up here at the very, I don't want to say the very top, but it's the top of this mountain. And I'm not sure who built that or how it got there, but there is water that trickles out the bottom, but from what I hear, it's black and gross, so we're not gonna look there. But I'll show you, go up these steps. Oh, look at this, a bench. And there's the pond. How about that? Pretty cool. So we got a little bit of a road walk from that pond. You can see the blazes over here. I'm not sure how far we walk on the road, but it's kind of a pretty field out here. I don't know if people farm that or it's private property or what. And then we got a mountain in front of us, so I'm not sure that's the way we're going. All right, we'll see. So, while Todd's off doing some business in the forest, this afternoon we've, let me try to get my face in this thing. So this afternoon we had lunch. A hiker from the hostel, he's not a hiker, but it's a former hiker, named Solo, gave us a water cache, which was really cool. And that got us most of the way up this mountain. We have about 500 more feet to climb the mountain right now, and then we're gonna go down 500 and then back up 500 to a shelter. But here's a pretty good water source right now, as you can see. It's coming out of that pipe, and I got about 2 liters in a matter of 5 minutes or so. So that was pretty good. It's starting to get overcast and cooling off now a little bit, but not cool by any sense of the imagination. Much less humid today though. And I think we're getting used to the climbs and all that. It's just, getting up there, got up and down, up and down. But yeah, this cold is starting to kick in. I bought some Sudafed at the Dollar General right before leaving, so I might have to take some of that tonight and see what happens. It'll be good if we get to the shelter, because then we can kind of shelter hop the next few days, and then eventually get to Erwin. So you were enjoying the time. Talk to you later. Bye. So this is the fire tower. I'm gonna head up the stairs and see if the door's open. It was a Blue Blaze trail about 1.5 miles off of the 0.15 miles off the trail. Let's get up here and take a look. Nicely built. Yeah, I'm gonna switch this around so you can see out the front. We'll look for old Blister coming up the trail. Here he comes now. Oh yeah. How's it, Blister?
1.15.
Yeah, this was worth it. Definitely worth it. Oh wow. Look inside. Sorry I'm breathing so hard, but that last little bit was way up there. Check out how nice this is inside. It's got these metal grates all over the floor. All the windows are wide open. You get a little shade in here. It's amazing. It's a town or something way out there. Hey, good morning. It's day 6. We spent the night last night near a shelter, the first one north out of Hot Springs. And we'll get kind of a short day planned today because of water. We're going to head towards Laurel Fork shelter or something like that. But I don't know. The water after that, there's no water for like 15 miles. So it's been a little bit of a pain in the butt. But been a couple descents and climbs this morning. I'm gonna turn around. So it was nice to have bear cables last night and hang our food without having to throw a rock up over a branch. Got any words of wisdom in day 6?
Feels good in the shade right now.
Oh yeah, it's good in the shade. But it was drier last night, so still wasn't like as cool as we had hoped to sleep, but definitely drier. And we slept at a higher altitude, so it wasn't too bad. Had a really good day coming out of Hot Springs yesterday. With full packs and everything, we did like 11 miles, which doesn't sound like a lot, but considering the amount of climbing we did, it wasn't too bad. So I've already been woken up this morning with a yellow jacket climbed up under my shirt and stung me on the fat roll, so that felt nice, but the stinging's going away now. So all right, I got a little mountain to climb and then back down before our real big climb of the day. Day 6, onward and upward. Happy hiking. So some nice trail angel left 4 gallons of water here at this pipe that has no water coming out of it. So it's kind of cool, man. That really saves us from having to be dehydrated today. Just hanging out here, having lunch. We'll get about 3.2 miles to the next water, and then we're going to try to go up this mountain all the way up today. It's about 2,000 feet, but it's probably 1 o'clock by the time we get moving. We should be all right. Any amount of miles we do after the shelter, we'll just be cutting down miles tomorrow, and then we can pretty much, after tomorrow's day, we'll be able to go shelter to shelter the rest of the way out. Any words of wisdom over there, Blister?
I'm kind of blank right now.
He's blank.
I'm feeling pretty good right here. It's very comfortable.
It's always more comfortable hanging out, but I'll tell you what, I'll show you what we're looking at. I'll switch this around. just staring at the canopy. Nice blue sky, a little bit of shade, and just looking at the pretty trees and enjoying lunch. That's the way it should be. All right, just made the climb halfway up the mountain and made it to Little Laurel Shelter. Kind of a nice spot. Looks like an old original stone shelter. Metal roof. See what this sign says. Little Laurel Shelter, Devil's Fork Gap, Jerry Cabin, Spring Mountain Shelter. That's where we started 8.6 ago. Allen Gap, and that's about it. 294 points. Guess I should show you the front of the shelter. I guess we're gonna get water here. It's supposed to be a trickle, but 0.1 up the way, there's supposed to be better water. We'll see. Ooh, the inside's kind of beat up, but you got a nice picnic table and probably a decent view when there's no leaves. So here we are getting water. As you can see, that's about the flow you have in the south in the fall. So it's taking us some time, but we're taking a little break, getting all of our water, and then we're gonna hike up over the rest of the mountain. But yeah, it's not exactly a Bush beer commercial with a nice flowing river right next to us and putting our feet in. So whatever. I was looking at my phone and I went off the trail. All right, so you can see my water on the top, and we just got. It took us probably a good half an hour, if not, I don't know, probably a half an hour to get. I filled up about 4 liters of water. Todd has 4 liters of water, plus our 20 ounces. Because we're gonna go to the top of this mountain, which is, the top is about 1.8 miles away. And following that, we're gonna start looking for a campsite, and we're gonna dry camp tonight. That's gonna cut off 2 miles from what would have been a 14-mile day tomorrow. And there's water halfway through the day tomorrow. So we've just been having to be strategic with when we stop and where we camp based on the water. It's not just like camp until you're tired and stop and there's a lot of water. It's, you know, this stretch we just went through, if we didn't have that water cache, would have been 8.4 miles without water. And I know some people that are used to doing like 15, 20 mile days, that's not a big deal to them. When you're doing 10 to 12 mile days, well, 8 waters is a whole day of walking, so, or a good part of the whole day. So it's about 4 o'clock. We're gonna head up the hill. It's cooled off a bit, and then I'll show you camp later on. All right, bye. Oh, any words of wisdom there, Blister? Wait a minute, where are you? Oh, bringing up the rear. This one's pretty tough. It's just a long, no switchback. Doesn't look steep, but that's level. And that's how far down it is. And then this is level. And then the trails. I see light at the top. I don't know. I gotta be getting close. All right. Oh, just gonna keep on trucking. These uphill ones, the trail's not bad, but you know, it's like take 10, 12 steps, catch your breath a little bit. I don't know, it's just hard, but every mountain has a top. Every mountain has a top. So just for those of you who don't know, this is how you hang a bear bag. You go way up to above this thing, and you throw a rock with a line hooked on it, or you usually have a rock in a bag, and you hook it over a tall branch, a branch that's not strong enough to hold the bear and also far enough away from the tree that he can't jump out to get your food. But then you put a carabiner, run some string through it, bring the food all the way as tall as the branch. Then you put this wooden stick. You tie it on the rope a certain way, and then you lower the... Hey, good morning. It's about 10 minutes till 9. It was much cooler last night, but you can feel the weather changing a little bit. It's cloudy, partly cloudy up there, I think. And it's day 7 for us. We're about to hit the trail. Packs are a little lighter. We're gonna go about halfway today and get water at Jerry Cabin Shelter. And then gonna make it to Flint. I don't know if it's Flint Mountain or Flint something shelter. But that's the plan. Since Jerry's halfway, hopefully maybe we'll take a nice break there. And well, we're gonna have to get water and take a break there anyway. So no gear failures as of recent. Getting some minor chafing and stuff just from the sweat and the wet. Right near where I got stung by that yellow jacket, I'm getting a nice wet chafing under my fat roll. But other than that, you all healthy over there, Blister?
So far, so good.
Blister may have to really reconsider the name because he hasn't gotten a blister yet, which is good. We're gonna knock on wood on that. All right, we've done our last final checks. We're gonna head on down the trail. In the words of IB Tat, back on trail, man. Shit. All right, taking a little side trail out to White Rock Cliff, they call this. Let's see what we got for a view. Oh, pretty nice. Watch your step. Yep, this is very nice. Very pretty. Don't drop down though. Look at that. That was the mountain with the towers that we just climbed yesterday. Wow, that's something else. Too bad it's so hazy because that would be a very beautiful view, which it still is. Remember that fire tower a couple days ago? I think that's it. Right in this notch of mountains, right? Where's my finger? This is kind of a cool section where we're climbing up to what's supposed to be an exposed ridgeline. Up to our right a minute ago, I should have taken a picture, but it was these really tall rock formations. And now we're just kind of, as you can see, rock hopping to get to the top of this thing and see some more views. But I'm gonna have to charge my phone soon. I hope I don't run out of battery right when I need it. All right, later. See, like this is what I was talking about. It's like kind of cool, like right above us. These big rock formations. Hard to see, but out through those trees, I believe that's to the west, and that's probably all Tennessee out there, nice and flat. This is out the other side. Great, I think I didn't just... So there's, to the west, looks like Tennessee out there. Look at how flat it gets after the Appalachian Mountains. That's crazy. Hazy out there. Look at that. Such a view. So before you start drinking your water, you want to tell us what happened up on top of the mountain there?
All I can say is the good Lord is watching over both of us today. Now, why the rattler didn't bite Kenny, I have no idea. How he didn't bite me, I have no idea. But yeah, literally, rattlesnake went right across the tip of my left pole, and I almost stepped on him. So yeah, we could have, either one of us could have easily been a target, but thank goodness he decided otherwise. So that's the closest I ever want to see another one unless I'm in an aquarium. See him in a tank or something, you know.
That thing, I wish we'd taken our phones out, because right after he went up under a rock that Todd had to walk around, that thing was rattling like, shh,
Yeah.
you know, oh man.
So yeah, that was the closest I ever want to see another one outside of the glass case.
Hey, we just hit a milestone for the southern section of the Appalachian Trail. We just crossed the 300-mile mark. So we've hiked 300 miles. We're at 300.3 right now. We've hiked 300 miles from Georgia, Springer Mountain, Georgia, all the way to where we're standing right now. So that's a pretty good accomplishment. If we were doing the real trail, or going all the way through, we would only have, let's see, 1,900 miles left. All right, we're gonna head on towards Jerry Cabin for lunch and dry out hopefully some stuff. It seems to be getting a little drier as we've been walking, and then have some lunch and then go to the next shelter for the final part of our day. All right, later. All right, we are about a half a mile north of Jerry Cabin. And then you come out of the woods into this big field. Let's take a look and see what it looks like as you get over the hill. Huh. Nothing but a bunch of bushes and a trail going through the middle. It is a big field though. You can see up there. All right. Oops. This is the view from Big Butte Mountain, or Big Butt Mountain. Kind of obstructed by these trees, but you can see almost the same view as before. Morning. It's day 8 at the spent the night at the Flint Mountain Shelter. Met Cloud Seeker and his family. They'd hiked up from Sam's Gap. Here's the shelter. There's over here, up there's bear cables across the way. And Blister and I, it's a nice shelter. Blister and I spent the night back there in the trees, hung up back there. It's a lot cooler today. It's supposed to be in the high 70s. And I don't know, it feels like rain to me, but maybe as the day goes on, it'll be less like rain. Who knows? But we're just going to the next shelter, like 8.5 miles or something. And should be a relatively easy day. I think we're going over a couple nice balds again. And
I don't know, if we get to the 8.5 miles and it's been that easy of a day, maybe we'll figure out where the next water is and maybe do a stealth camp a little closer to Erwin. Who knows? But we'll get rolling here in a minute. All right, bye. Good morning. I already said good morning earlier, but it's day 8. We are leaving Flint Mountain Shelter, heading northbound. Pleasant night, cooled off. A little moisture in the air right now, but still cool. Had some good company last night with a family named, I don't know their real names, but Cloud Seeker was the patriarch. So, how you feeling, Blister? What do you got to say today?
Feeling good this morning. Yeah, I'd say that was a highlight of this. One of the highlights of the trip was that family last night. They were very pleasant to be around.
Yeah, they were. And I'll tell you what, if you want to hear Blister's southern accent come out, get him around a family of Kentucky people. And boy, that thickens up fast. Thickens up faster than cornstarch and gravy. All right, later. What's the sign say?
It says Laurel Hospital. Mile. Shuttles to Erwin. It's just advertisement for the hospital.
Easiest climb of the day. This nice little cascade coming down that big rock face up there. Good water down here. Hey, we just almost at the top of this mountain. We got a pretty cool opening here, and so we're heading up on the edge of this field, and oh, it's pretty cool. See the clouds way over there. There is a lot of clouds today. Well, I don't know if it's going to rain yet, but we'll find out. Gonna go up through this light, and probably somewhere up here we'll have some lunch. Just finishing up lunch and coming down this little V in the mountain, and we got another nice little opening. Wow, look at that. Pretty view of the other mountains that are around us. See the clouds going by up top of that? I don't know if you can see that, but the clouds are just above us, zipping through. Oh yeah, this must be the field he said was all mowed down. Look at that. How would you like to be right down there and owning that little piece of property? So the trail goes right beside this field, and then we're gonna climb this next little mountain, keep moving. All right, later.
So this is Hogback shelter. We got water here. It's a pretty long walk, about 6-minute walk. And we're gonna end up going a little further today and going over the mountain and seeing if we can put some more miles closer to Erwin. This is actually a very nice shelter. Had it fit in our plans, would have been cool. There's a lot of flat area up in here to hang hammocks, and back in here it's actually really nice and wide open. I would definitely consider this place in the future as maybe a place to stay. Might be hard to tell, but the weather's really changed. If you can look up there, that's all clouds. We're pretty high up, or the clouds are pretty low, and we're just gonna get over this one mountaintop. And there's supposed to be a place with a pretty good view, but I wouldn't imagine that it's not gonna be socked in. So it's been windy all afternoon. It's like night and day from a few days ago when it was 90 and still. So climbing up another maybe 100 feet, and then I'll see what's up there. High rock. It's supposed to be a viewpoint. I don't know if it's just this right here. There's a blue blaze. I'll turn it around, but it's cloudy, so not sure if we're gonna get the view that we were hoping to get. Oh, the cloud just broke for a second. Oh yeah, well, pretty cloudy, but you get the idea. That's too bad. That's probably a nice view out there. All right, there's the Turk. Look at that form.
Going up faster for the video.
Making it look so easy.
It's like Rocky climbing stairs.
Working on those calf muscles and those glutes. All right, well, we took a little break, pack break, and we're crossing this West 212 on the road here. And right back there is the Tennessee state line, which means we just crossed, well, we were in the North Carolina and Tennessee. But that trail came out of the mountain right there. And we're going up over this, one of these, I can't remember what they call these, but this is the first one in a while, or maybe the first one I've been on since, at least down south. And it's basically so you can get up and over a fenced area. And if you can see over there, there's some cows. And as you can see, it's cloudy today. Neat little area right in here. So if you zoom way in, you can kind of see through the clouds a little bit, but I think today this one's just not in our cards. What do you think? What do you think of the view today?
We missed it.
Yep, we missed it.
Missed it by a little bit.
But what we can see over there, if you can focus, watch those clouds zip on by. Right here, near the trees. That's actually kind of neat. That gives you an idea of how far up we are and how much cloud cover there is. All right, well, we made it down to Sam's Gap, which we crossed this highway, whatever that is. And we're done for the day. We're trying to find a camp spot now, so we're gonna walk on a little bit further and see if we can find something that suits our fancy. We'll find something. I don't know what highway this is, but I don't know. A lot of big cars up there. State Line Cemetery.
Well, we climbed a little hill and we found a little bit of a campsite over here. So we're gonna stealth right here. It's right off of the trail. This trail's basically, that's where we came from. And tomorrow that's where we're going. So remember that, Hawk? So gonna do some, look at the size of this tree I had to wrap around. Let me turn it around. So this tree, covered in like barbed wire and all that, we had to wrap around, and Mr. Todd or Mr. Blister over here has a nice little spot. He's gonna have the wind blow up that hill and keep him nice and cool. And I'm gonna be right here keeping my screen up. Don't expect rain tonight. If it does rain, we both have our, well, I have my rain fly up just in case it happens, but Blister's taking the danger blister route later. Well, it's day 9, and you can see over here we are starting out under our tarps. We're pretty much in a cloud today. I'll turn, well, you can see it behind me. And everything's moist. It was chilly last night in the 50s. It's not raining, but the fog is making water droplets on the leaves, and then the wind's blowing it right off onto us, so it may as well be raining. But anyway, we're gonna get packed up here and start out to get warm on day 9. $58 degrees, standing here in my wet hiking clothes, freezing, waiting to get going. But I don't think we're gonna get any views today. We're in a cloud. Well, that's really too bad that I just did a whole morning soliloquy again and didn't record it. But anyway, day 9. Once again, that was a tribute to Nightcrawler. So, like I said before, but you didn't hear it, we slept very moist. It was kind of cold. I think Blister was plenty warm. I was a little cold with my underquilt, just everything being moist. It was doable, but just a little bit chilly. But we're getting out of camp around 9:20. Gonna go up over Big Bald today, and then just 24 miles from Erwin. We're hoping that it's going to clear up a little bit so we can get a view up there. You never know. That's about 5 miles away and about, I don't know, what was it, 1,700 feet or 2,300 feet? I don't know. Whatever it is, we got to do it. So have a good morning, everybody. And you got any words of wisdom, Mr. Blister?
Not a good day if you got a perm.
No, oh yeah, definitely bad hair day. Good thing I'm sporting not as much hair. All right, we'll may or may not film a lot today, depending on what we see or how miserable it is. Later. So we're a little ways up, and we're in a little gap. I wanted to see if you could see the clouds zip through once the wind blows. Maybe we can't even see the mountain in front of us. It's I don't know. I'd say visibility is about 20 yards, and then beyond that, it's nothing. This is the walk today. I mean, other than the climbing, we've been going across these little bit of ridges, but it is so, we are in the cloud for sure. We were maybe 3/4 of a mile ago, we were about 4.5 miles from the top. This is our last bigger mountain until on this trip. I think it's pretty much starts to get downhill after towards Erwin. So we should have a water stop coming up here pretty soon. Here comes old Blister. It's just what you want to see after walking 10 miles already today. Going all the way up there. High Rock Mountain, apparently.
Last climb of the day, I believe. Coming out of the trees towards the top of Big Bald. It's a big open field. Obviously we can't see anything because it's in the cloud. Tough climb this morning, I'll tell you that. I'll shoot a little video from the top. Just wanted to see this field with nothing around it. Forgive the noise, but I wanted you to see the clouds coming, whipping at me. This is up here 5,000 something feet, I think. Almost to the top. A little more. Big Bald, 5,504 feet. What's up, Mountaineer? Parking lot? There's a road right there. What do you got to say? I won't hear it anyway. Well, check that out, those big rocks up there. Go all the way down. Just about done. Been a long day. A lot of climbing. Quite a few miles. I don't know exactly how many miles, but I think we did close to 13. We're about 0.3 from Spivey Gap, where there's supposed to be some campsites and a bridge and some water, and might be coming up on it now. I'm not sure. It looks like there's some flat area over here. No, that's not it. Anyway, might be. So, tomorrow's the last day, I think. I think we did enough today to get ourselves in shooting distance for Erwin tomorrow, which will be nice. I'm quite whooped right now, to be honest. My feet hurt. And it was a lot of, you know what there was today? There was a lot of climbs that, here, let me go down like this. There were a lot of climbs that were like straight uphill, but for like 200 yards. So it was like, you know, no switchbacks, just boom, 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 straight up the hill. And then earlier on, you know, starting out soaking wet and everything, that kind of made it another issue. And then all the fog just blowing through us. It was a challenging day. But at the end of the day, we did it. We got over Big Bald, Little Bald, High Rock Mountain, and
Met quite a few people along the way. Just saw Flapjack going southbound. He's the first Sobo we saw. We saw a few others somewhere else, but they're not a lot of day hikers and stuff. No other people doing any distance. All right, take it easy. Bye. Day 10. All right. We are heading out. I'm not walking into that. Looks like we are in striking distance of old Erwin. 11 miles, which is pretty much a standard day that we've been doing out here. We're usually in pain from 7 to 11. But happy anniversary today to Blister and his wife, and it's a big one. It's number 30, 30 years. And the fact that he's out here, hopefully doesn't land him in the doghouse, but he must have got permission in the first place. So got 3 hills today, and then a bunch of really hard downhill all the way into Erwin. Mr. Blister, do you have anything you would like to add this morning?
Just happy anniversary to my wife.
Nice. All right, here we go.
They still look the same?
Yeah. Here we are, middle of day 10, having a little lunch in this gap. It's actually kind of nice, leaning up on the log. Got Blister over there getting a hot lunch. We got 3.8 miles to go to Uncle Johnny's, and that'll be the end of the trip. Again, bittersweet, because like I said at the end of the last one, I really like being out here. I think it's tough. It's a challenge. I think, the hills wear on you over time. Being out here 7 days in a row was a long stretch, and it was kind of a difficult stretch, I thought. Either I'm getting older or, well, some of it we had to carry so much water. The conditions were dry, and then carrying all the wet stuff yesterday. But that's hiking the AT. So we adapted, we overcame, and barring something unforeseen, we'll be in Erwin in a few hours later.
At the bottom of this hill, according to gut hooks, we will have hit the 100-mile mark on this trip. We were at 99.9 at the top of this little hill, and now I'm gonna say it's this big white blaze right here. It's probably so big and white because it's the 100-mile mark for us. So 10th day, 100 miles hiked over some very tough terrain. But guess what? We did it. There's the Nowachucky River, if you can see all the way down there. So we're about a mile out from Erwin. You can see that railroad bridge down there. Just had a better view of it actually, but it's pretty cool, the Nowachucky River. We come around this way. See if we can see a little better. Yeah, look at that. That's beautiful. The mountains all up behind it. All the mountains back there. You can see it. Chance of rain today, so we got to try to get moving. All right, well, here's some more trail footage from the last mile of this journey, kind of ending up the way it started, minus the downhill and uphill part, but in the rhododendrons on the side of a steep hill in the forest. This one has a bunch of pine needles on the bottom, which is nice. And this one also has some nice switchbacks. I'll get straight down there. So, kind of a we had varied terrain on this one. We had mountain high balds. We had a rhododendron forest like this. Not much pine, although last night we were pretty much in a nice pine grove for our campsite. A lot of these tall deciduous trees. A lot of ridge walking with low bushes of I don't even know what they were, but big wide broadleaf bushes. Lots of humidity on one side of a mountain, and then on the other side would be completely dry. Multiple non-switchback steep climbs. And then obviously the trail was generally maintained super well from Standing Bear to here to Erwin. Most of it was nice and cut out like this, not quite as wide as this, but very few rocks where the terrain didn't call for it. Very few rooty sections, well marked. So kudos to the trail maintainers for the work that they do, because I mean, I probably on several occasions during this hike we both commented on how hard it would have been to try to put the trail through certain areas that we saw that looked difficult, and these guys building stairs up steep hill parts, and just major work that has to go into it. And it's free to hike the trail, so if you ever get the opportunity, get yourself out here and hike this trail for free. It's beautiful. All right, I'll check back in when we're at the end. Looks like we got a couple more switchbacks, and in the background right over through the woods right there. I believe that's Uncle Johnny's because I see a white shuttle van. Looks like it's the last switch back down. I'm assuming we go on that guardrail there, but we kind of just beat the rain, I think. We felt a few drops in the woods, but all in all, I think we made it to Uncle Johnny's here in a second. There's the river. Purest. Here's the bridge. And there, Uncle Johnny's. So this trip, all right, well, that's the end of another trip. I'll check in later once we get to Uncle Johnny's. People are looking at me funny. And it's time to sign off the AT for 2019. Keeping with tradition, carried this bad boy from Hot Springs. And now that the hike is over, it's time to indulge. By the way, check this out. This is Uncle Johnny's. It's pretty nice back here. So we got a cabin for 2 nights at Uncle Johnny's. Very nice hostel, very nice people. But you can tent out in the yard over here. There's a bathroom and showers up in there. And then around the back here, there's laundry. And we got this cabin, cabin B, which is, I guess, the bigger one. There's a couch and then a nice bunk bed area. You get a fridge, a microwave, and then like a screen that's just, I think, just for DVDs and stuff. But in all honesty, in the hiker world, it has, and look, an AC unit right there. So in the hiker world, I mean, this is all you really need. So I recommend, they have a great store inside also that has a really good selection of actually some high-end gear. So hello there. So yeah, I would highly recommend staying here. The people are super nice, and Uncle Johnny, I guess, passed away earlier last year, and his wife still runs the place. So pretty cool spot, and laundry in the back. Nola-Chucky River, right in front of Uncle Johnny's. They say the river's a little low right now. Here I am in Asheville, North Carolina, near the airport. Blister got an earlier flight than what he had scheduled. I'm not sure why the shuttle people had us scheduled to leave at 7 a.m. when my flight was at 2, but whatever. So I'm gonna walk over to, it's about 8, a little after 8. I'm gonna walk over to McDonald's and get some breakfast and then hang out for a minute, double charge my phone again, maybe watch some Fox News, and then I'll head back to the airport. All right, it's only about a 15-minute walk. Later.